HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises reward and punishment. It comes together, it's a package deal. Never be jealous of somebody that looks like they're winning while they're going against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because when HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings the wrath on them, no one can save them, not even their own family. On the other hand, the beautiful thing is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want to punish. It's just the rule that He has for His own creation. He has to. When He punishes us, the biggest thing that He punishes us for is that we did not allow Him to give us good. He is good. He created us to give us good. But He can only give us good if we do good. When we do bad, we're in essence forcing Him not to give us the good that He wants to give us, and it's the reason why He created us. Which means that when we do good, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the first one, can't wait to give us all the blessings of the Torah. Now then you're going to say, wait a minute, if He really wants to give me good, then how come He just going to give it to me? Give me, no, yalla. Gemara Masechet Shabbat, end of the Masechet, has an extraordinary famous story of Yosef Mukir Shabbat. Yosef Mukir Shabbat was not rich, but he used all of his money, all of his resources, all of his energy to sanctify Shabbat. The Shabbat at Yosef's house was unbelievable. Rest of the week, barely surviving. Shabbat, the whole week exists just for Shabbat. HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw how much Yosef loved Shabbat. He wanted to give him a gift, a little gift. Now there was a guy that was very rich, some goy. And he went to all types of witchcraft people, and they told him, we see in the stars that some guy named Yosef is going to take all your money. All your houses, all the land, everything you have. This guy got scared. He said, no way. Sold everything he has, took all the money, bought a big diamond. And sewed it inside his turban. He says, now he can't take my hat. Now he can't take my money. It's all in my head. He has to kill me to take it. One day he's walking on his land. A strong wind comes. The turban flies off into the water. He tries to go chase it. He can't chase it. A big fish comes out of the water, swallows the turban with the diamond in it. $100 million inside a fish. And he flies away. One day, a fisherman fishes the fish. Huge fish, brings it to the market. Happens to be Friday. Happens to be 15 minutes after the market closed. Nobody's there to buy. But I have this big fish. We don't have refrigerators in those days. It's 2,000 years ago. I need to sell this fish. It's fresh, it's big, huge. Hey, listen, it's a huge fish. Only person that would buy it at this time, maybe you can go to Yosef Mukir Shabbat. Where does he live? He lives in that address. This fisherman takes this fish, runs to Yosef Mukir Shabbat's house. Yosef sees it. Ooh, that's a big fish. Wow. It's almost Shabbat. We don't have that much time. So, you want the fish or no? How much? 10 coins. 10 coins? Yeah, it's a big fish. It's all the money I have. But it's worth it for Shabbat. You didn't have fish? You had fish already. You cooked already. But this is a bigger fish. It's a more delicious fish. It's fresh fish. It's more honor for Shabbat fish. Everything I have, you go for the fish. Thank you for bringing it to me. Now, if Yosef would have said, you know what, I already made fish. If I take the fish now into the kitchen and I open up the fish and the smell comes out, my wife is going to make me into a fish. Open up the fish on Shabbat, an hour before Shabbat, your wife is going to make you into a fish. If you said, you know what, maybe you can go to my neighbor. Go to my neighbor, I think he's not Jewish. Give it to him. What would happen? The neighbor would have got the fish. And the diamond inside it. Yosef opens the fish and sees a diamond and says, Abba gave me a present. Abba gave me a present. Why? Because you love Shabbat. You love HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You love His Torah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends you presents. When? when he decides to give you the present according to his time. His time is not always according to our time. So the question is that we asked, why didn't he just give him, money in a different way? Why does it have to all be with all this whole story with the fish? The fish has to swallow the hat, and then you have to open up, and the diamond, and what? Just somehow the diamond appears under his chair. Like, why does it have to do all this story? Same thing with, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu have to put Moshe Rabbeinu through all he went through for 80 years before he made him into Moshe Rabbeinu? The same thing with our story from the Midrash of why the guy had to lose all of his money in the house and the togim and everything else before HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him. Why? What's the whole process for? Ephraim says, it's very simple. Remember when we read in the Zohar an hour ago, it says that when a person makes a sin, what happens? He creates a mashchit, creates a demon, and that demon beats him up. That demon gives him agony, it gives him anxiety, gives him money loss, gives him health problems, gives him this, gives him that, nightmare. But guess what? It also happens in the positive way. When he does a mitzvah and he says Shema Yisrael, guess what? It's a little Shema Yisrael angel next to you now. And after that, he goes to work, but before he goes to work, he says, I got to go to the bathroom. Why? Because I'm a human being. And he goes to the bathroom, and he comes out of the bathroom, and unlike the animals in the world, he says a blessing. Thank you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for making everything work. And he says the Asher Yatzar. And guess what? As soon as he says the Asher Yatzar blessing, another angel is right next to him. Who's the angel? Asher Yatzar angel. And after that, he's going to go to work, but he doesn't live 5 minutes from his job. He has to go 35 miles away. It's a different city. So you know what he does? As soon as he crosses the border of the city, Tfilat HaDerech. He says the blessings of protection on the way. Why? You're not promised to get there. You're not promised to come back. But if I do a blessing, then I have a special angel that's going to protect me the whole way. So as soon as he finishes the blessing, guess what? There's another angel next to him. Another angel. The Tfilat HaDerech angel. And then when he gets to work, he says, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to eat something. What I have? What my wife give me? Oh, she gave me a sandwich. It's bread. Got to do Netilat Yadayim. So he washes his hand, 3 on one hand, 3 on one hand, and he says the blessing. And guess what? He has an angel. A Netilat Yadayim angel right next to him. Cute one. Strong too. And after that, he says the blessing of what? The bread. Oh, that's a really strong angel. And he's right next to him. And every one of these angels, every single day, they go up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I am a witness that this person is righteous because he created me, or else I wouldn't exist. I am the angel that he created when he said Tfilat HaDerech. I am the angel that he created when he put on tefillin. I am the angel that he created when he kept Shabbat. I am the angel that he created when he watched his eyes and he didn't look at that woman. I am the angel that he created when he was with his wife in a kosher way. I am the angel that he created when he gave tzedakah. So Yalla HaKadosh Baruch Hu, give him! HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, not yet. A little bit more. A little bit more. And every day more angels that he creates go up to Shamayim and say, no, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, give him, give him, give him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, not yet. Not yet. And little by little, he makes more mitzvot, and more mitzvot, and more power is prosecuting for him. More strength in Shamayim is prosecuting for him, is fighting for him. In Shamayim, Hashem, he's been waiting for a ZIVUG for 10 years. Hashem, she's been waiting for refuah shlama for 5 years. Hashem, this couple's been waiting for a baby for 10 years. Hashem, this couple, this family needs PARNASSA for 20 years already. Hashem, this guy's learning Torah and doesn't understand anything for 15 years. Hashem, this person wants to serve you and he just doesn't know how to, please. And every day, they go fight for this guy, for this girl. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, not yet. But then one day, he only has $10 left. And he's had it. He lost his house. His wife doesn't want to talk to him. It's tough. But he still loves Hashem. An opportunity. He could buy himself lunch, or you can give the $10 for some poor person that doesn't have any way to make money because he doesn't have legs, or he doesn't have arms, or he doesn't have a job, or he doesn't have any hope. He says, you know what? I'm going to give him the $10. Or he says, you know what? I already ate breakfast. I don't need to eat lunch. Let me put that $10 to give it to a Torah organization. Maybe they'll learn more Torah in my merit. And the $10 creates an angel. And that angel goes up to Shemaim and flexes his muscles. Says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I was created with his last $10. Can you give him? And Hashem says, now I can give him. And then the Shefa comes. And then all of a sudden, his wife that cannot have a baby because the doctor said she can't have a baby. She's pregnant. And all of a sudden, the job that says you're going to be fired at the end of the month says, by the way, we have a subsidiary that's looking for your position, and in fact, they're going to pay you 70% more than what you were making here. So you're fired, but over there you're hired with a 70% raise. And all of a sudden, the doctors that looked at him and said, this guy only has 2 weeks to live. The doctors die, but he lives another 70 years. Why? Simple. Just like the Rasha creates angels that go against him, the Tzaddik creates angels that go for him. The question is he going to give his last $10? Is he going to do that last mitzvah when it's really, really hard? He had a tough day. He doesn't feel like praying. He had a tough day. He doesn't want to give anybody. He had a tough day. He wants to go to sleep. He doesn't want to learn. And guess what? That's the mitzvah you need. That's that last one when you're about to throw up everything already. You've had it with everything. That's the one HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. And if you say, you know what? I've had enough. I don't want it. Okay, so the neighbor gets the fish. The neighbor gets the fish. If Yosef Tzaddik would have gotten depressed for being in a jail, a hole in the bottom of the earth, full of filth, full of criminals, full of garbage, he would have gotten depressed. And when those 2 Egyptians came to him and said, listen, we're upset because we don't know what happened in our dream. If Yosef Tzaddik would have been sad even about being in prison, which is perfectly justifiable, he wouldn't have had the prophecy to allow him to interpret their dream. And guess what? He would have died in jail. He would have died in jail instead of becoming the viceroy of Egypt. If Moshe Rabbeinu would have seen Am Yisrael over there carrying what they're carrying, he says, listen, I'll pray for you guys. But I'm going to pray in the air conditioner because it's hot out here. It's Egypt. Moshe Rabbeinu would have been somebody that lived that you would have never heard of. All of the salvations that each and every single one of us are living because of came at a moment where it was too much. But somebody said, I want it, I want it. What do you mean? But you're the one that's struggling the most. Exactly, I want it, I want it.
הנה אפשר לראות את הפריקה של המשאית. הנה נשארו פה עוד כמה דברים אחרונים, וזה מה שיש לנו פה. כל הדברים, שטחים כפולים, גדולים, פלפלים, חצילים, הלאה. אפשר לראות הדברים שמגיעים, גזר, תפוחים, הנה הפירות שהתחילו להגיע, פלפלים, חצילים, שקים של תפוח.
Shalom V'chai everybody. We're back here in the United States after 6 extraordinary weeks in Eretz Yisrael, the Holy Land. We saw extraordinary things there. The beauty of the Kotel, the beauty of the land itself, and of course, the extraordinary beauty of the Chachamim. A huge event where several thousand people showed up to honor the Torah alongside us and also hear the wisdom of Gedolei Ador was what we started the trip with. But along the next several weeks, we got to meet many other Chachamim, spoke in many different places, kollels, yeshivot, Batei Knesset, and we got to see some of the most extraordinary things I've ever seen in my life. But one of the things that we did see that is not as exactly as exciting is the spiritual poverty that's in Eretz Yisrael in certain places. Places like Tel Aviv, places that people are walking the streets without having a concept of what modesty is, without having a concept of who the God of Israel is, without even having a concept that the fact that they're stepping on holy ground. These are our holy brothers and sisters that we've dedicated our life to help to get them closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And one of the things that we're doing in the United States, in Australia, in Canada, in England, and many other places around the world. Baruch Hashem, we've succeeded in doing it. But one of the other things that we did see is also that there's a material poverty. A material poverty is simply so abundant, so extraordinary, that it breaks your heart. We're sitting in our house when the next door neighbor decided to pass by to say hello, and while they were saying hello, they asked us if we have any extra toys because they simply couldn't afford to buy their kids any toys. Of course, my kids gave them their toys, and Baruch Hashem, we got to fulfill the mitzvah. But there are thousands upon thousands of these types of families of Chachamim, families of tzaddikim that simply have poverty as a standard way of living. These are the types of families that we've dedicated our lives to help as well. Over the last few years, we've helped tens of thousands of people to feed them during the holidays, to get them toys, to get them clothes, to get them beds, to get them whatever we possibly can. During this trip, we also lost a very dear friend, one of our partners in the distribution, a very dear friend of ours, Giveret Ital, that really dedicated her life to helping Am Yisrael. We're going to miss her, but as a dedication to her, as a dedication for Klal Yisrael, and as another way to honor our Kadosh Baruch Hu, we're continuing to do our food distribution as well as our spiritual distribution. We need your help. This time of the year is Rosh HaShana, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, the high holidays. These are the times where most people donate the most of their money during this time of the year because they need the righteous judgment. They need the good judgment. They need to be blessed with a new child, with financial success, with a health miracle, with all types of issues. And Baruch Hashem, people know that the blessings of the Mizakei Rabim, people that have dedicated their life to helping Am Yisrael, those blessings get a special VIP treatment in Shamayim. Over the years, we've had many people tell us how each and every single one of their blessings that they received from us was fulfilled during that year. And as a result of their donations, they got many, many more folds of blessings than they could ever imagine. Please, partner with us during this time of the year. Be generous and also be understanding that this is the time where every single one of us gets judged and every one of us needs a little help. If we help HaKadosh Baruch Hu's children, spiritually and materially, there is no doubt in my mind that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will also help us as well. Thank you very much for all of your support over the years. May Hashem continue to bless you, and BeEzrat HaShem, we will all have a Shana Tova.
ידידיי ואהוביי, אחיי ואחיותיי היקרים. אם שמתם לב, ארגון בעזרת השם פעיל במשך כל השנה. הפעילות שלו מתבצעת במישור הגשמי והרוחני. זאת אומרת, לדאוג לאחינו בית ישראל, גם לנשמה וגם לגוף. ישנם אנשים שעניים בתורה. ישנם אנשים שעניים מבחינה כלכלית. לקחנו על עצמנו את התפקיד הקשה לדאוג גם מבחינה רוחנית וגם מבחינה גשמית לכלל ישראל בארץ ובעולם. ברוך השם, עד היום נעזרו על ידינו עשרות אלפי אנשים. משפחות נזקקות, לא רק מבחינה רוחנית, גם מבחינה גשמית, אם זה סלים בחגים, אם זה אוכל, אם זה שתייה, אם זה עזרה בעניינים רפואיים, בכל דבר ועניין שהיה נרתמנו לעזור, והחידוש הגדול שלא על מנת לקבל פרס. בלי אחוזים, בלי עניינים, עוד הפוך. ראשי הארגון באים ותורמים מכספם את כל מה שצריך כדי לבוא ולעזור לעם ישראל. זה הארגון היחיד שאני יכול לבוא ולהעיד שכולו לשם שמיים. לכן ידידיי ואהוביי, אנחנו מבקשים את עזרתכם לבוא ולהמשיך להפוך את העולם למקום יותר טוב, הן מבחינה רוחנית, הן מבחינה גשמית. ואנחנו בקמפיין הקבוע שלנו לימים נוראים, לפני החגים, שאנחנו באים ודואגים לאלפי אנשים בסלי מזון, בעזרה לחגים ובשאר מצרכים. לצורך זה פתחנו בקמפיין גיוס המונים של עזרה לנזקקים, ועוד קמפיין של תמיכה כללית בפעילות הארגון שנלחם במשך כל השנה בכוחות הרע, בעניינים של כפירה, בהפצת תורה ויהדות. כל מי שירצה לבוא ולהיות שותף, כאן בדף הזה של הקמפיין מוזמן לבוא ויקבל ברכת שמיים, ושכל משאלות לבכם יתקיימו לטובה. שנה טובה ומתוקה, שנה טובה ומבורכת, ארגון בעזרת השם.